the State Board of Education is mandated, and these teachers are being forced to teach to a test and not teach to learn. And these schools are being measured by these tests. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We have some of the greatest people in this nation that live in this state, some of the brightest that live in this state. And you can't judge a child by a standard test. And that's what they want to do. And so we need to lead the nation. We don't need to compare ourselves to other states. And yes, we look at what Arkansas is doing, and they're doing a good thing. But we can be at the top of the nation in Louisiana if we just handle it the right way. So quit teaching to test and start teaching to learn. Because we stopped classroom activity for 3 weeks to teach children how to test. Teachers want to teach children how to learn, not to test. You know, we've converted to this system, you know, one test fits all. It just doesn't work. Kids need to be taught to learn. They need to be allowed to go out to recess. They need to be allowed to play. And this is the springtime. It's terrible. And we know that the results that they think they're achieving, they're not achieving. And yes, I know the teachers and the local administrators are concerned with their bosses in Baton Rouge as to taking these tests, these one test fits all tests, but it's wrong. It has to change. With the next leadership and the next governor, it will change.
What do you feel needs to happen?
Well, I think that when you look at childhood education, we need to focus on pre-K. We need to focus on childhood. We need to focus on giving our pre-K and kindergarten more money. We know that illiteracy is tied to crime. So when you fix childhood education, you start reducing crime, you start reducing recidivism, you start looking at all the problems that we have. So you know, crime, poverty, education, they're all connected. You fix one and you improve the other.
Now, what is the link between education reform and the future of the state?
If we continue to focus on our children and get them taught, there's not going to be a need for a LEAP test. There's not going to be the need for the problems in our incarceration. We're going to teach our children to learn. Additionally, we got to go back to mandatory recess. I know the legislature tried that a number of years ago and it failed. You know, surprisingly, you had Republicans and teacher unions agreeing, but yet they didn't act. So under the next leadership, we will change that. Children need to be outdoors. You know, we know that they learn community, they learn teamwork, they learn to communicate, they learn to be good citizens by being able to play. And that's not happening today in our school system.
What about teacher pay raises? Can the state afford to do this?
The state cannot afford to not do it. I know that's a double negative, but they cannot afford not to do it. Look at the LEARNS Act that was just passed in March in Arkansas. You know, their base pay was starting pay was $36,000, and it was up to $50,000. So we need to let our teachers earn. We're somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 teachers short in Louisiana right now. So teachers need to be allowed to teach. They should be paid adequately. They should be encouraged by parents, by family, by leaders. And so I'm all for increasing the pay of teachers so that we'll keep them involved with our children. Well, in Arkansas, their base pay was $36,000, and now it's $50,000. Our average is about $41,000. We need to increase the pay of teachers to at least $50,000 starting, and then they should get pay increases. So our teachers need to be encouraged to pursue the profession that they're called to do, to teach our children. And again, we should let them teach and not comply with this mandatory, you know, one test fits all LEAP test that's going on right now. Our children need to be outside. They need to play. They need to have recess. They learn teamwork. They learn community. They learn citizenship, all during recess. So I was growing up, and many others in this generation and older generations, they were mandatory, sometimes 3 recesses a day. And it needs to be for all students, for all schools, and it should pass.